Hey, what's up everyone? Upstart here with RyXe Gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory. Now, in the previous episode, we finally got the fuel generators unlocked, and we got two up and running, and that expanded our power grid, so we have 910. I don't know if they're... what are they called? Where is that? There's the home. Megawatts, I guess that's what it's called. Anyways, 910 megawatts being produced. We're barely consuming a third right now. That's because there's still a lot of things that aren't optimized yet. They're not haven't been made efficient, because right now there's a bunch of backup right here, a backlog, or however you want to call it, and right here is also stopping. The two top ones aren't, and the third one is more or less still like, just constantly working, because the two top ones are the ones that I have with the automated production of the encased industrial beams with the alternate recipe that uses the steel pipes instead of the steel beams. And this center one is, I think, a line of motors, or well, yeah, technically in the motor production, that isn't operational. It isn't connected, so that's why it just filled up the conveyor belt, and that's that. And this last one down here is kind of in a similar position, so that's why it's just filling up and it's not really doing anything. So what I've already looked into is that the things that are backed up, that are pretty much slowing down the production, or halting it, are the constructors up top that make the pipes, because they're just not working fast enough. So in this episode, what I'm gonna try to do is optimize uh, my production lines as best I can, without um, probably doing too much with them, like adding more lines, probably just with what I got, because I still, because there's still other things that are priority. Not really this can like be working like in the background, but the encased industrial beams are something we're gonna need a lot soon, or pretty much at that point. So it would be nice to definitely increase the production of these steel pipes on these two lines. So that's one of the things I'm gonna do. I'm gonna first try to add maybe one or two more fuel generators before I remove all my coal generators up top over there, and then that's about it. I'm also gonna try and see if I can start putting up my I forget its queue. Where's the organization? In the industrial storage container stacks here that I do, because these require encased industrial beams, and I think it's the pipes as well, steel pipes. So 15 and 15. So yeah, I forget that it says it on there. I try to just look at the silhouette of the icon. But anyways, yeah. So I'm gonna make my towers here. I'm gonna try to do that, at least just for the ones that are operating, and that would probably make it easier on me, instead of having to put it on all of them, that even if they aren't in operation. So that's one of the things I'm gonna be doing as well. I may try and get like the build a small factory for the quartz production. Well, not yes, the quartz, but I'm not sure if how exactly I'm gonna do that yet. The Caterium is actually the thing I wanted to say, but quartz came out, and you know what? I'll mention that. The Caterium is pretty close here, like right over there where you see that railing, whatever, I forget, scaffoldings or something, whatever. Right over there is where I forget if it's on this one or on that top one, where the Caterium node is, and all I really do is just one small factory producing quick wire. That's really all I do. But it would be nice to have that because I actually do need some for the that milestone in the top corner over here. So it would be nice to have that. That's something pretty small. It's pretty quick. It's not really something that'll take too much time. So I could probably do that as well. I'm gonna try to optimize my iron factory because right now it's not really doing much. It is doing something, but not much. Right now I pretty much have it only producing into containers as I had previously with these things over here and the other ones. And it's just pumping out the basic stuff into containers, and I have one production line, I think, an impromptu one. It's not really set up properly for modular frames. So yeah, that's that. The motors, they're not exactly impromptu because those are connected properly. So all I do is just have to have two and into containers. So that's that. So yeah, that's the main thing that we're probably going to be working on in this episode. Something I wanted to mention because well, by the time I upload this episode, it'll probably be about a week since Coffee Stain, Jace, you know how he brings out those update videos. Well, I think it should be more or less about a week since his last update video that I'm about to mention, where he talks about um, the update number 3, about the new feature that was teased not too long ago as well. He mentioned something about a shop, a coupon shop, and a lot of people were saying that it was for microtransactions, and he clarifies that it they are not microtransactions. He doesn't really specify much about, or he doesn't really go much into detail about how it's gonna work. He did say something about that in like the world here, you'll be able to get coupons in some way. I don't know which way, but I don't know why, but I have this feeling or suspicions that it might have to do with the Mercer spheres or the Somers loop. I think that's how you pronounce it, Somers loop. Double M and an O, so I'm guessing Somers loop. Maybe it might have to do with that. I'm not sure. There's a bunch around that I've already found, but I don't want to get those because as they're work in progress, I don't know if once you get them they don't work. But there's another thing that he was saying that once update number 3 comes out, that there's gonna be a lot of things in your factories. If they're big factories, you're gonna have to make big changes or big fixes. If they're small factories, then it's gonna be small fixes and this and that. So yeah, in that case, I think it might just be better to start over again. But I really wouldn't want to do that, so I will try it first when that update comes out. Actually, and about the update when it comes out, I think the release date, he said that on he wasn't going to be able to give an exact date, but he said January. First they had said end of January, beginning of February. He said January is out of the picture now, so it's actually either maybe beginning of February, late February. So he said it would be around there. So it's been delayed a bit again. So it gives me some time to actually continue with this and try to get to the end of the content that's available, like in the tech tiers and all that. And when update number 3 comes out, hopefully I'm gonna try and first like analyze the situation with all the changes that are gonna be made. It's to see if it's gonna be really like a really big hassle to just fix my stuff, or pretty much just start anew. But if I do start anew, I probably do that on my own time and just come. If something of interest comes out, I'll probably show, like, record a little bit and show that. And like here and there in between of my refactorization, rebuilding of all my things, because I just like building this way. This is like my favorite way of building my factories and my setup and all that. And I always, when I first played the game, I didn't always do it like this because I actually didn't start in this biome. But when I did, and I figured out a way to like kind of make this look like simple, not too complicated, slightly organized maybe, because it is. There's a lot of spots where there's just not really much organized. It's kind of organized, but it's messy, kind of thing. But anyways, I will try and fix it, or like check and see like what needs fixing and how much work I would need to put into it. I think I would rather prefer fix it than redo it, but we'll just have to see what actually comes out in update number 3 to see what the problems are going to be. But anyways, enough of that. I think that's about all the information that I've got. Yeah, I think so. So I'm gonna see if I'm gonna try and optimize that up there. Optimize some of the other factories. Continue with the fuel generator stuff, the oil, all that good stuff. I don't know if I'll do that milestone though. I may do it, I may not. It just depends on what is on the priorities list. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and optimize that a little bit, get that going, and if I have an update for you guys, I'll come back before I finish with like before I get some progress done. But if not, I'll probably come back when I've got something like enough things to show, to explain or whatnot. So yeah, I'll see you all in a little bit. Alright everyone, so just something real quick. In the previous episode, we actually placed a hard drive for analysis in here, in the MAM. Obviously this has been done for a while, and I'm kinda in the need of, I need to research the purple power slugs so I can use them, because I haven't done that. So I kinda need to just, I kinda gotta do this, and hopefully I get what I need. No, I actually did not get what I need. So I'm gonna have to, just do a reroll, and let's check if we get what we need in the next one. Alright, so back in, let's check it out. No, no, and no. Okay, try again. Again. I think this is the one I want, and that one as well. But these aren't the ones I immediately need, so we're gonna have to re-roll. I want to get the quick wire one. It's not like super necessary, but it's one of the closest that I'm gonna be using. I'm not at the point for the factories on these, so let's try again. Alright, again. No. Let's keep trying. Alright, so one thing, after a few tries, I kind of noticed that it wasn't like the recipe, the alternative quick wire recipe that I was looking for wasn't showing up. So I was like, wait, hold up. Do I already have it by any chance? And I checked in the milestones, and yes, I already have the alternative recipe. So yeah, I'm dumb like that, stupid like that, So then I was like, okay, so then which one do I need next? And I was thinking iron wire, but because of where the area where I'm gonna place the computer factory kind of thing, it's gonna be between the Caterium factory and the iron factory. So in that big old space, that's where all the computer parts, electronics kind of factory is gonna be. So I went out. I did a little bit of I forget the word, but I was looking around to see if I had um, either copper or iron, because that's what I would need to make a wire. With the iron wire, alternative recipe, or find copper if I can just go straight, with the regular. I found one copper node, but it's there's just too few. And I found three iron ones, and I was like, should I go iron wire? And I'm like, I probably don't need that much wire, so I don't want to waste a hard drive yet on the iron wire. I probably could get it later. So the first thing I was thinking of going for um, now would be the circuit board alternative recipe, because I'm gonna need circuit boards for this is the alternative recipe for the computer that I want to get. I'm gonna need circuit boards for that. I'm gonna need circuit boards for the AI limiter, and I think that's about it. But I'm also gonna need the crystal oscillator. I think it's the alternative recipe. I think so. Um, so I can go for the computers with that. So the first part is gonna be circuit boards. So I'll go for that first, and then I'll go crystal oscillator next, I believe. And then I'll go for the computer one, because I need pretty much these two items first before I can start with this recipe. So I'm just gonna go circuit board alternative recipe. We'll grab that. I don't think I have any more. There it is. Come on, just one, doesn't matter. I don't think I have any. Just put that in there. Come on. 10 minutes. Any more hard drives, so I'm gonna have to go out and get some more of those as well. What is it? 4. Nope, it was on 3. So yeah, this is where the alternative quick-wire recipe was. And let's go over here. That sun is in my face. Okay. So that big old empty space is the area where I plan on having. Let's get out so the car can be quiet. This big old space here is where all the electronic stuff is going to be being made. I'm going to have to bring rubber all the way from the oil factory down there, but that's no big deal. I'll just bring it through the back. I'll bring it around through the back, and it'll connect into the circuit board factory, I think it was, because I think I need rubber for that and AI limiters, so that's fine. I'm not gonna need too much wire for the circuit boards, because I don't need like an excessive amount. So that's fine. So that's what I'm gonna do there. I've already also made 2 more fuel generators down there, but as I was saying, I'm out of power shards, which I need to boost those. Or to overclock those. I need to overclock some machines in the steel factory as well. So I'm still working on it. For now, we're just gonna go with that. And yeah, I'll be back with you all when I get some better progress to show. All right, everyone. So to wrap up the episode, I'm going to show you guys the things I've been working on for the past several hours, actually. It might not look like much, but believe me, it takes its time. So, what have I done? So one of the things I mentioned before this cut was that in the fuel generators down there, I had put some power shards, but I don't know if I mentioned that I didn't completely fill them, but I did. I got the the power slug researched, and I converted the remaining 2 purple power slugs into power shards, and oh, actually I put them away. And I have some here. I've already used a few, or most of them actually. I only have 5 left. But what I did was this: I had mentioned that I was gonna that I wanted to remove, or just pretty much dismantle the coal generator, whole power generation system that's up there. I decided to just keep it for now. But what I did do was I just went and took all the I think it was 9. The 9, yeah, it was 9. The 9 power shards that were in there, and then I just left it as is. So they're just generating 150 in total. Those 3, which is what one of the fuel generators generates on its own without overclock. So now I have all of those overclocked. So they're producing more or less. Let's see. So 1300 and some change. So only 150 is from the coal generator, so that's fine. Whenever we have time or whenever we want, we can dismantle that. I could have just dismantled it at the time, but I actually couldn't exactly do it because I've been carrying a lot of materials on me, resources. I have my boat. I didn't want to get in. Come on. My bogey's full as well. So speaking of full. The fuel tank is almost empty. Okay, so just toss that in there. Okay, so I got that going, and so I'm not gonna touch the fuel generators anymore. At least for the near future, I won't. But I do need to add more oil refineries because I need to start making rubber. Not exactly plastic, but I need 2 to start producing rubber. Because I've already, let's go over here. Well, first I'll explain this as well. So these are my industrial container stacks that I tend to build. They're 7 high. They're just alternating. The bottom one obviously has to output this way, and then the other one is just output that way, like that, output that way, and then crisscross or alternating, so that the input at the top ends up being from this side. So it inputs that way, and then I'll just have it coming down like I don't know if you want to call it a snake or worm or whatever, coming down like this. And this is where it outputs. So right now I have well, plenty of stacks of encased industrial beams. I could probably start replacing every single conveyor belt that I have that's not Mark IV, but that'll take some time, so I'm not gonna do that right now. I'm gonna do that. I'll be doing those as I go, as I need them. So on this side, I didn't plan on bringing down the containers on this side. My plan was to go for all of the containers to be on the other side of the factory. But since half of it is pretty much for encased industrial beams and the other half is for just concrete, I decided to divide it. So the concrete is going to be on that side. I haven't done anything to that. And the encased industrial beam is going to be all on this side. You may think that, well, why so many containers? Isn't it too much? Probably. Well, some may think that, not everyone. Some may think it's too few. But anyways, I just like to stockpile these materials. Whenever you're as you go along, as you play, as you're doing other stuff, these containers could just fill up on their own. Like if you don't need it later on, well, you have a huge stockpile. If you need it and you don't have it, well, then we have a problem, right? So it's best to just have our machines working non-stop, and well, one day eventually this might fill up. But for now, we're just barely getting that first container. I think it's just barely a little bit past halfway. So I didn't have enough materials at first when I started getting these constructed or built. So I only did the ends just to mark them, and the two center ones. So I have two assemblers just filling up one container on that side, and then the other two into this middle one, this left center stack, and then this right center stack, two there, and then two to that final stack. They're all about the same. Well, this one has way more. It's almost full on the first one, because I think that's the one I've been getting from less. Yeah, these last two. I've just been getting them from the first two, so that's why these have less. But anyways, that's my stacks. I've optimized as best I could inside this factory, because the encased industrial beams was my top priority. So that's why that's like that for now. I'll keep adding more to it as I go, as I need. But for now, that's gonna stay like that. So yeah, those have been optimized. For these lines, these conveyor belt lines, I've only done the top two because I don't need the other ones. So, and from the power shards that I removed, and for the other ones that I made, I also optimized not all of them, because I think I've already maxed out as best I could. My steel factory down there, all the five steel pipe. I think there's some constructors. All of them are already at three power shards each. They're all maxed overclocked. The first two were the first that I did, and then the last three. And I can't do any more. It just can't go any faster now, and it's still backed up pretty much. So it's full of resources, but it's just not crafting fast enough. But anyways, that's gonna have to be like that for now. I actually also have another line. The two bottom lines, since they're not being used for the motors right now, I actually have those connected here in some spaghetti kind of thing. I just came up with this real quick because I didn't want to move too much of it, so all I did was spaghetti it with some splitters and mergers, and I just made it go up. So the two bottom ones, one each, is going to the two top ones. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting, because I may have to, most likely I will, and make more constructors for steel pipes and simply connect them more than one to the top two lines, because that's kind of a priority. But for now, it's fine. It's not terrible. It works. And as you were able to see, we have a ton of stockpiled encased industrial beams, so that's fine. So let's carry on. So as you can see here as well, it is no longer a big open space. Okay, so that was an autosave lag right there. So this is all filled up. There was a little piece right here that stuck out. I didn't calculate properly here apparently. So there's that little bit there that's still over the foundation, but it's not a huge problem. So it's lined up straight down and straight down that way. So, and it's already all filled in, so that's good. So what I have here are just pretty much the basic structure or skeleton of our factories to be, or two, or whatever you want to call them. I have 5, I believe, right now. The first one's, let's start from let's start from all the way down instead. So that tall one there, that's our mini. I'll just call these. I'll call that a mini factory. Okay, it's pretty small. This is the quick wire factory. So I have on the bottom smelters for, I think it's the Caterium on the bottom. Yeah, Caterium on the bottom, copper in the center, and at the top we have assemblers making the quick wire. Those output 12 quick wire every like 5-6 seconds or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't really take that long, but I forget. Well, it just says 90 per minute, so I don't know how many. These containers, I think they're already full. That's why they've stopped. Yeah, all these containers that I have right here, I think it's just 4. It's all full, but that's already a ton of quick wire, so that's fine. That's why I had that set up there. Let's just jump down. I have other resources, raw materials coming in through the back, because up there is where the Caterium one is, and then somewhere back there, down over there, is the copper one. So I did that there, and I just placed that container there as a placeholder. It's not connected to anything. Okay, let's go. And then, since the electronics are gonna go like in between this area, as you noticed, it isn't. It at first when it was like without anything, I saw it like it looks like a lot of space, and yeah, it's not a lot of space anymore. So here, this one I plan to have the alternate recipe for the high-speed connectors. I haven't unlocked the high-speed connectors yet. They're on this milestone, so I need to wait for that. I'm gonna paint. I like painting some of these, especially for the green or the ones that have color. If they're like materials that have either black or gray, or maybe they're yellow like the computer, but the computer has some black, so it just depends on the side I use. Anyways, that's just me. So this is for the high-speed connector, has some black in it, so I have the dotted walls. I call that the dotted wall. That's like the outside. I'm gonna paint those green. This is for the AI limiter. It's also on that milestone I'm on, but that's just a regular. That doesn't have alternative recipes, so that's going to be as is. This one is for the circuit boards. Even though I have unlocked that one, the alternative circuit board recipe, which I plan on using. I haven't set up anything because, well, I've been pretty much doing some, planning here. I've been getting the base of each factory set up, and just getting the space distributed, or placing placeholders, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be painted green as well. This is for the crystal oscillators. It's going to be painted pink. Hopefully there's a pink. That's going to go there. And here is for the computers. Computers are going to go here. Those are yellow with some black, so that's going to stay as is. It's not going to get painted. And I still have a lot of room here, but it just looks like that because I haven't put anything there. But I think I'm going to go with another factory around here, like where I'm drifting, for the supercomputers. I don't know what else I'm going to put over here, but I think I plan on putting supercomputers, like a mini factory here. But I'm not going to make it just yet because that's not on the priority list. The electronics are priority, so that's why well, they're higher on the priority list, so that's why that's going on like that. That's about it, pretty much all I've done. Let's get that. I'm gonna need, for the crystal oscillator, obviously I'm gonna need quartz. I'm also gonna need silica, so I'm gonna have to figure something out with that. I think that is for the alternative recipe of the high-speed connector. I don't think it's for the AI limiter, but it's for one of these things that I have over here. So I'm gonna need silica, and I think it has something to do with the quartz. I have to look into it right now. It's not like on my mind right now, so I'm gonna have to go over into our quartz quarry, mine, whatever, down in the mountain in there. So as I've mentioned before in some other episode, the quartz factories are actually going to be inside over there, so I have a platform that I need to build over there, and to make it easier to get over there, I need to actually build, if I can, well, not if I can, I will, somewhere around here, I believe. Straight down is the cave entrance. Somewhere straight down around here is the cave entrance to where I want to go. So either here or on the other side is where I'm going to build pretty much like a small highway or something, a bridge down that way with a ramp just going straight in there. And I'm not going to build any foundations inside the little tunnel because they're too big, and there's just it's just too much uneven terrain, and it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna work out, so that's fine. And then I'm just gonna have. I'm not gonna have the factory like on the ground. I'm gonna have it pretty elevated because apparently all these alien bee hives and stuff like that, they all respawn and stuff like. I don't know. They seem to respawn. So I'm gonna have it quite high so they won't be bugging my factories or bugging me when I go over there. That's the main thing, because they don't bug the factories, they bug me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna work on. I'm going to continue um, and adding like the machines, all that construction, all that stuff in the for these things over here, the quartz factory over there. Um, in the next episode. So thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more. Hit that like button if you liked the episode, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.